beginning to look a lot like still Advent.
Hey!
Everywhere.
I love Advent.
I love Advent too. Isn't it a beautiful
I want to marry it.
Oh my.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to.
Oh wow, that escalated quickly because you are a consecrated celibate. You remember when you told the bishop that you wanted to be celibate the rest of your life?
I remember.
What day was that? Do you remember?
May 26th, 2007.
June 5th, the Sacred Heart of Jesus.
My ordination is the Feast of St. Philip Neri.
Your ordination or diaconate?
Ordination.
Oh,
diaconate? Oh, diaconate was
when
October,
you take celibacy. Don't forget that.
Oh, that's right. October 28th, 2006.
At St. Meinrad Arch Abbey?
St. Meinrad Arch Abbey. That is correct.
I was ordained a deacon in the same church that I went to school.
I know, I was there.
Pius. The same school that threw me out and never wanted me to come back.
I used to lock you in the bathroom. Hey, big news.
Whoa.
Big news from our old stomping ground.
Oh,
today's Wednesday.
We beat OU?
We're recording this on Wednesday.
There's bigger news than beating OU?
So several big things have happened. Number one, Bedlam. I've been to a lot of sporting events. I went to the game. I've been to a lot of sporting events in my life. I've been to NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. I've been to many, many, many Final Fours. I've been to NFL playoff games. Never been to a Super Bowl.
Okay.
I went to an American League Championship Series, Astros, Yankees. I've been to a lot of sporting events.
Okay.
Last Saturday's Bedlam was a top 3 sporting event of my lifetime. It was awesome. I would put it up there. I went to Game 7 of the 94 NBA Finals. Rockets, Knicks.
What?
Where Tulsa native John Starks went 2 for 17 from the field, and the Rockets won. That was awesome. I was at the Final Four when Chris Jenkins hit the shot for Villanova at the buzzer to win it.
What year was that?
2016, maybe?
You were
17?
sitting lower level?
We were close. We were pretty close.
You used to get tickets from that coach.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's another story. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, this was up there. It was up there. It was awesome. But I was referring to there was other news from our old stomping ground, i.e. Bishop Kelly High School.
What? Tell me more.
Your friend and mine, my classmate, Father Gary Castle, is going to be not the president of Bishop Kelly.
I'm sorry, what?
Anymore. Are you just hearing this? Did you get the memo? Have you checked your email today? Did you see the video I sent?
I haven't got to any of it yet. It's it's in backlog right now.
So Castle is he's out December 18th.
Dunskies.
Yeah.
Everybody knew this was coming.
Yeah, sort of.
I mean, the religious sister of Mercy's sister started working.
So she's taken over
as the COO.
Sister Mary Hannah Doak. So she starts as the president of Bishop Kelly on December 18th.
Okay, this is the first time.
Very cool.
Okay, let me see if I can go back in history. It's always been a Christian brother, and then it was you.
No. So it was Christian brothers.
Oh, and then
layman, then me.
Then you.
Then Father Castle.
Never been run by a nun.
Yeah.
Religious sister. Now, if anybody's like, what does a nun know about running a school?
She knows a lot.
These are the smartest.
They're awesome.
Every religious sister of Mercy I had as a student in seminary had at least 2 PhDs.
Yeah, I don't know what her degree.
2 to 3 languages. There is a surgeon at the hospital, a neonatal doctor at St. Francis Hospital in Tulsa. The Religious Sisters of Mercy are the best. And one of them, I saw a picture in a magazine one time. She wrote her PhD when she was in college at the University of Michigan and then became a nun.
Oh.
On cold road building. And
it's random.
Because she was a civil engineer.
Oh.
And so she wrote her PhD on a certain
holy and smart.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's cool. It's cool. But you're saying, well, what does this have to do with Payne County? Because Father Gary Castle is from Perkins, Oklahoma.
Boop, boop.
So anyway, he's going to keep his job as the rector of Holy Family Cathedral, but now he just gets to do that full time.
Wow.
So good for him. Amazing. And good for the cathedral. I mean, it's hard being
a pastor.
Yeah, having two big jobs. Ugh. Anyway, so that's cool. That's happening. That'll happen today.
Well, it's gone public.
Yeah, this morning.
Some people are going to be shocked. Other people are like...
I think it'll be, yeah.
Some people are going to be shocked because they're first hearing about this.
Oh, like you?
Well, I knew it was coming. I just didn't know it was coming out.
How did you know?
I think we talked about it on multiple occasions.
Me?
No, somebody did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Priest Rumor Mill.
No, it wasn't Priest Rumor Mill. She was there. COO.
Oh, Sister Mary Hannah was?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I mean, I
All right. No, that's cool. That's cool. So one cool thing that's happening in my parish, I know lots of cool things are happening in your parish.
Oh, let me tell you.
I.e., it's about to close for a few weeks.
Oh, yes. People are shocked by that. They come over from Mass and they're like, you were closed last week. I was like, yeah, there was no students here. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, get over it, people.
Something cool happening?
So we're doing, I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago, we're doing in the month of December a little initiative that we're just calling Meet Your Mother.
Whoa. Are you saying I'm an orphan?
And we're talking, no, you're definitely not an orphan.
Then why am I meeting my mother?
Well, maybe we could call it getting to know your mother.
I'm meeting my mother, like my mother,
getting
Virginia
to know your mother better. So we're doing this little 3-evening little mini, I don't know what you call it.
Extravaganza.
On the Blessed Virgin Mary.
That mother.
So tonight is actually the first one. So we're recording this Wednesday. So tonight is actually the first one, and I am giving the talk.
Ooh.
And it's called, What Do We Believe About Mary?
What do we believe about Mary?
It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. I'm ready.
And so you're going to give us a little preface of that today.
So I just thought we could, I just thought maybe either for those who are able to come, so this is December 1st, or who couldn't come, we're going to record it tonight. But give a little, for our radio and podcast audience, right. a little dive into Mariology.
Ooh.
A little dive into the dogmas of about the Blessed Virgin Mary, of which there are 4.
Okay, so for our non-Catholic listeners or people just listening out there.
Yep, both of you.
So
Here we go.
Both of them, one in Dubai and the other one in Antarctica.
Can I tell you something hilarious? When I look at the statistics, which I don't look at all the time, I'm not like obsessed by it. Probably like once every 6 weeks or something, I'll just look at like how many people are listening and all this stuff. Anyway, so it gives like stats. Anyway, the number one country in which this podcast is listened to is the United States of America.
Woohoo!
Number 2, there's a big gap between the United States and all these other countries. Number 2, India.
What?
With like 10 people. So you go to like United States and it'll say like 1,000. And then India, it's like 10.
Whoa.
And then Canada is like 8. Anyway.
Cool.
I just think it's hilarious.
Well, for all those Indian people and Canadians,
we welcome you.
And for those people who are not Catholic, when we refer to our mother, we talk about Mary, the Holy Theotokos, and ever Virgin Mary.
That's the first dogma.
The mother of Jesus. The mother of Jesus, the Son of God. So that's who we're talking about. Mary.
Mary of Nazareth.
Mary of Nazareth, the Mary of St. Joseph, the spouse of St. Joseph.
So what's cool is in our little parish initiative, what we're doing, we have 3 talks. So we're doing Wednesday the 1st, which is tonight, which when you're listening to this, it has now passed. So that's on what do we believe about Mary. Then 1 week from Wednesday, so December 8th, is the Holy Day of Obligation.
Immaculate Conception.
So we're not having a thing that day. We're just having Mass all day. Then on the 15th, we're having, the talk is called, I'm going to get this wrong, but basically it's about like, what do we call Mary, sort of titles of her. And then on the 22nd, we're doing like Marian apparitions. So like when Mary, we did a show a year ago, maybe, I think it was called like, was Jesus' mother Vietnamese?
Oh, that's right.
And we were talked about, like how Mary sort of appears in different places and sort of takes the appearance of that native.
Yeah, because the statue in our sacristy in the rectory is Our Lady of Penang.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to it. And I really hope the parish, jumps in. I hope there's a lot of people. We've advertised it a lot. And so we'll just see how that all goes. And then hopefully what this all leads to, one is greater devotion to Mary. More, the ultimate goal is kind of Mary helping us to better know her son. And then in the month of January, we're going to do a parish-wide Marian consecration.
Sweet.
Which we'll kind of get to a little bit later.
Okay.
But anyway.
In the words of the great announcer, pistols firing. Let's get down to business.
Okay, so here I have a quote. Here's a quote for you. You always give me like quizzes.
Yes.
So I'm going to read this quote about Mary.
Okay.
And then I'm not even going to give you options. You're just going to tell me who said it. Ready? We are all children of Mary. Mary is the mother of Jesus and the mother of us all. If Christ is ours, his mother is also ours. She, the lady above heaven and earth, here passes the woman who is raised far above all women, indeed above the whole human race. No woman is like unto thee. Thou art more than an empress or a queen, blessed above all nobility, wisdom, or saintliness.
I'm guessing it's not the author that's on the front of the book.
It's not the author. It's not the author of this book.
I'm going to say St. John Vianney.
Ooh, that is not close at all.
Oh,
I'm going to give
wow.
you 2 more guesses, and then if you don't get it wrong, you have to buy me lunch. Go.
I am going to say it is...
You have to buy me pho at miso.
It's not Mother Teresa of Calcutta.
Is that a guess?
That is not a guess. That was just saying it wasn't. I'm going to have to say...
I'm counting that as a guess.
It's St. Ephraim the Syrian.
Wow. No.
Okay, last guess.
One more guess.
Last guess. Teresa of Avila.
Oh, wow.
No.
Martin Luther.
I'm sorry, what?
Martin Luther.
Start with that something queen above heaven and earth.
We are all children of Mary. Mary is the mother of Jesus and the mother of us all. No woman is like unto thee.
Martin Luther, like the Martin Luther?
Martin Luther said that.
Like the guy who started the Protestant revolt.
Yeah.
With Zwingli and Calvin.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beautiful.
Okay, that's the end of the show. No. Isn't that amazing?
Okay.
How about that?
Well,
so here are so we're going to go over this. There's so much that could be said about all of these. My goodness.
the 4 Marian Dogmas.
But the four Marian Dogmas. So one we've already mentioned. So the first one is that Mary is the mother of God.
The Holy Theotokos.
So every January the 1st, we celebrate the solemnity of Mary, the mother of God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there's a distinction here, which I think a lot of people would say, well, duh, of
Distinguish
course.
away, please.
But there's been this controversy over the centuries, which the church, jumped right into and sort of solved by declaring this a dogma. And that is the kind of the question that went back was is Mary the mother of Jesus? I think everybody would say yes. But is she the mother of God?
Yeah, because the confusion was, is she Christotokos or Theotokos?
Or Theotokos, yeah.
Christotokos, like the mother of the Christ, or the mother of God, Theotokos.
And why does that matter?
I'm asking the questions here.
Oh, really?
Because it was the Council of Ephesus in 431 that Leo the Great sought out over, and the proclamation of the Tome of Leo, T-O-M-E, of Leo in 431.
So is Mary the mother of the Trinity? We would say no. She is the mother, but would we properly call her the mother of God?
Yes.
Yes, because Jesus is God.
Mm-hmm. It's very simple.
Yeah, it is very simple. But has had. I mean, it's not something people are really. I don't think people are really like arguing about today. But it's one of those things when especially sometimes when our Protestant brothers and sisters, like Martin Luther, will say, like, you guys make too big a deal about Mary. We would say, well, obviously she's not, equal. She's not equal to the Trinity and not equal to her son. No,
she's not divine. And she even says she's not divine.
Right. But we make a big deal about her because she's the mother of God, because Jesus is God, and Mary is Jesus' mother, and therefore she is the mother of God. It's a big deal.
All the Marian dogmas are there. They exist to protect the divinity of Jesus.
Yes.
If you sweep them away like this, if you call Mary the mother of the Christ, then you eliminate his divinity.
Yeah.
He's not just Savior, he is God.
Right. So again, there's a lot more that could be said there, but let's, in the interest of time, that is the first Marian dogma, that Mary is the mother of God, the Theotokos. for all the Greek speakers out there. Okay, the second Marian dogma
is
what?
Go ahead. Oh. I'm so excited.
Is that Mary is perpetually a virgin?
Oh yeah. So I think some people have a difficulty with this because when they get to the line that says brothers and sisters.
Yeah, Jesus. Jesus came there with his, or
the line until it says they did not have relations until. And that's a grammatic phrase right there that's super important that doesn't imply that the event actually happened.
Yeah, so that's gets into some little Marian apologetics, and a lot of times, the issues there are translation. So like brothers and sisters is ought to be in some cases translated like as more of like cousins.
And the whole community, it can be said to be brothers and sisters. Like everybody is part of this family because they're part of the tribe of Israel too.
So this is just a little bit on the virginity of Mary. So the book of Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, this is chapter 7. A virgin shall conceive and bear a son. So the prophecy, we're going to hear a lot of that in Advent, the prophecy of the Old Testament prophets, talking about.
That's the King Ahaz from the prophet Isaiah, speaking to King Ahaz. And the child's name shall be Emmanuel.
So this is just, I'll read something from this little article that I have here. It was also fitting, thus she virginally conceived Jesus without physical corruption. It was also fitting that her birth should be virginal, also without physical corruption. Some of the church fathers hold that perhaps Jesus passed through the abdomen of the Blessed Virgin as he passed through the wall of the upper room after his resurrection.
But that's not true. He came bodily in form.
Right.
And there was some debate about that.
I just think there's people trying to maybe he. At any rate, the Second Vatican Council, 1962-1965, affirms this in saying, Christ's birth did not diminish his mother's virginal integrity, but sanctified it.
I agree with all that.
So that's the second Marian dogma.
Yeah, and that comes from the Old Testament. So again, if we don't know the Old Testament, like we talked about the prophets a couple of weeks ago.
I remember.
If you don't know the prophets and what the prophets are saying, then you miss out on it in the New Testament.
Right.
We mentioned about the light coming to land of Zebulun, land of Naphtali, land beyond the Jordan. People that live in darkness have seen a great light. And where does Jesus show up? He shows up in the Sea of Galilee, land of Zebulun, land of Naphtali. So if you don't know the prophecy from Ahaz, or even from Genesis 3:15 that says, there'll be a woman and her child, because that's what the Old Testament is waiting for, that woman and the child, then we don't get it when it shows up.
Yep. Okay, we're halfway there.
Okay.
The third Marian. I thought you were going to sing "Living on a Prayer." No, like we're halfway there.
We're halfway there. Golly.
Okay. All
right,
we're back. After this commercial break. No, we're back. Okay. The third Marian dogma is that Mary was immaculately conceived.
Not Jesus? Because I was.
So this is what we celebrate December 8th. So it's coming up. Are you guys still in school? You having Mass?
We are. We're having Mass at 8:30 p.m. in the middle of your Spanish Mass. We'll just start our own Mass in the back of the church. Just kidding. We have Mass at 9:09. We have our candle Mass.
Oh, okay. We'll be out. Yeah.
We're not having adoration confessions that night.
Yeah, we'll be out.
And then we're having Mass at, I think it's like 9 a.m. On Wednesday at Old St. Francis.
Oh, good. Okay. So we're having 4 Masses. We're going to have Mass at 7 a.m. I love our 7 a.m. Mass. It's the best. We're going to have Mass at 7 a.m., 12:10, 5:30, and then 7:30 in Spanish. To celebrate Mary being immaculately conceived. Not Jesus, although,
he's free of sin too.
Free of sin, yeah. Okay, so Mary being conceived without sin.
Okay, one, do we have any scriptural evidence of this?
What do you want? You want some scripture?
I would love some. I would love some scriptural evidence of the immaculate. Where's the word immaculate conception in the Bible?
It's not. It's not.
What do you mean it's not?
But it all goes back. It goes back to Jesus, right? So Mary is always pointing us to her son. So for Jesus to be the lamb, the perfect lamb, for Jesus to be without sin, and what we believe about original sin, which a lot of our Protestant brothers and sisters don't believe in original sin. It's one of the reasons we baptize babies. We don't just wait until, they're older.
Believer baptism. We don't do
right.
We do believer baptism.
Because original sin is a real thing. But for Jesus not to have original sin, his mother, his father is God. The mother has to be pure, without sin. And so going all the way back to Mary's parents, Joachim and Anne, whose feast day is July 26th, that when Mary was conceived, God made an exception, set aside. Mary was conceived without original sin, unlike the rest of us. Mm-hmm. She was special. It was a special occasion.
It was a special occasion. I like when the church fathers, when they use examples like, the tree in the Garden of Gethsemane is the new tree that has the new fruit, where Jesus, the new Adam, they do this typology. And they go back to the Old Testament, like Genesis and Adam and the tree in the garden, and they do this biblical typology. What I love about the biblical typology of Mary is that who is Jesus? Jesus is God. And wherever God dwells, it must be pure. That's why, the purity of the temple in Jerusalem was so important, because that was God's dwelling place. And that's why, the dwelling place of each person has to be pure and clean so God can dwell in us. And it says, so much would we say about the womb of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and her body had to be free of original sin, so to be not only a transfer of flesh to the Son of God, and also to be a holy dwelling place.
I like it.
So that she is free of original sin.
And I think so the church fathers also will talk about how Mary being conceived without sin starts the reversal of the sin of Adam and Eve. Mm. That Mary as the new Eve, Mary as the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, that's really cool about
there's cool stuff
like King David with the ark, and then the description for the Gospel of Luke about Mary going to Elizabeth's house, of how all that weaves together.
Yep.
There's some really, if we take the biblical typology and look at it, it starts to explain theology in words we don't have. It is. I think it's rather magnificent.
So this is the Second Vatican Council says the knot of Eve's disobedience was untied by Mary's obedience.
Oh, knot, not N-O-T, but K-N-O-T.
What the Virgin Eve bound through her unbelief, the Virgin Mary loosened by her faith. Death through Eve, life through Mary.
Yes.
About that. Now, was Mary was without sin. Was she ever tempted?
I think there was probably temptations made upon her.
Yes. Just like Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm. There's discussion always around this Christmas time, but when people watch that movie, what is it?
Charlie Brown's Christmas?
No. Oh. Yes, Charlie Brown's Christmas. No, the religious film about Christmas. That it's like the Nativity or something like that.
Bad Santa?
No, that's not a religious film. A Die Hard 1?
I've actually never
It's not Die Hard 1.
Die Hard 2?
It's not Die Hard 1, best Christmas film ever. What's
Die Hard 1?
What's the Christmas film?
We should do that Bruce Willis as a Christ figure. Saving Nakatomi.
Oh, I know.
There's something there. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, there's a Christmas film. It's a Christmas story. No, it's like the Nativity. It's this religious Christmas. And somebody asked me, Father, I saw this movie, and Mary was in pain at Jesus' childbirth.
Oh, there's a debate about that.
And we say, no, because she didn't have the effects of original sin, because she was immaculately conceived.
So you're saying Mary, when Jesus was born, Mary did not experience the pain of childbirth?
No epidural needed, no midwife. Yeah, she didn't have any pains of childbirth because there's no original sin if you're immaculately conceived. Game, set, match.
Okay.
Vakulich.
Very cool.
Checkmate.
Okay, then the fourth and final, so let's recap. The first Marian dogma
Holy Theotokos
is that Mary is the mother of God.
Mm-hmm.
The second is that she's perpetually a virgin.
Uh-huh.
The third is that she was immaculately conceived. And the fourth Marian doctrine is that Mary was assumed.
Assumed.
Body and soul into heaven.
The Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary.
The Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, which we celebrate every year on August the 15th. Mm-hmm. So the Assumption.
Please tell us more.
So this little nugget right here that I got. Where did I get this? Catholic.
Is that my doctoral thesis?
Yes,
I
got this from the writings of Father Kerry Wakulich. The dogma of the Assumption is intricately related to Mary's special privilege of being completely without sin.
Ooh, so they like tied together. They're like sled dogs. They're all joined together.
All of these are tied to Jesus, right? When Jesus Christ died on the cross, he rose from the dead and ascended into heaven. He opened the way to heaven. However, when we die, we will have to wait until he comes again for the resurrection of the body. Mary, at the end of her earthly life, being completely free from sin as she was, did not see the decay of her earthly body, which is fitting for the Mother of God. So, if you went out on a quest and you were like, I'm going to find Mary's grave.
Can't find it.
You're not going to find it.
Can't find it.
You're not going to find it because Mary was assumed, body and soul.
Now, we call it the dormition, the sleep of Mary.
Yes.
Like she, physically, there was a physical death, but the line says that she did not see the decay. So there is the assumption of her. She's assumed immediately into heaven.
Yep. So it's kind of a prefigurement of what will happen to us at the resurrection of the body. But when you're without sin, then you don't have the effects of sin.
# perks.
That is a big perk.
Wow.
That is a big perk. So it shows Mary is just not one of the gang. She is special and has been special, not from the moment she said yes to becoming the Mother of God. She has been special from her beginning. From the moment she was conceived, there was a plan, and it involved the Blessed Virgin Mary, which I think is wonderful, of just the beauty. I think it shows kind of the dignity of women, that God, in God's plan, salvation, our salvation runs through a woman. Her yes to God's plan, her fiat, plays a gigantic part in our salvation.
Yeah, they put all the chips in.
Yeah.
On Mary.
And she delivered.
She's. I think you.
That was a pun.
She delivered. That was. You have so wisely slipped that one in there. Wow. Brilliant. You mentioned earlier that she's not our Savior. She did not die upon the cross.
No.
She did not rise from the dead.
No.
She did not destroy death by death and restore life to those who live in the tomb. She is the mother of that divine person, Jesus Christ, who did that. And without her, as I read recently, that the question was, did Jesus sound like Joseph? Like when you don't hear Joseph say a word in the scriptures,
right?
Would Jesus's voice sound like Joseph? And so these things were given to the Son of God by his parents, Mary and Joseph. And so there's a necessity for her to be like all of these Marian dogmas to be true for him to have this awesome,
that's awesome
human nature.
All right, I'm going to give you a few Fulton Sheen nuggets.
Okay, go.
Archbishop Fulton Sheen. I've been reading this book about Mary by Fulton Sheen.
Okay.
He says, she existed in the divine mind as an eternal thought before there were any mothers.
Whoa. Okay, next. Come on.
Isn't that fun?
We only got
the closer, this is about Mary's Immaculate Conception, the closer one gets to fire, the greater the heat. The closer one gets to God, the greater the purity.
Shoot. That's beautiful.
Okay, that's all.
Wow, those are some goodies.
There's some nuggets.
Wow.
Fulton Sheen. Okay, we're going to go, but hopefully you're having a great Advent, and we'll see you next time.
See you on the Immaculate Conception. Peace.